Greetings, 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 good people. I am back. You're back. We're all back. Okay. If you are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you are a returning royal family member, welcome back. All right. So, this whole Jackie Christie basketball wives and Jackie Christie's daughter thing is trending nonstop. Okay. So, there has been updates. Jackie received an apology, somewhat of an apology, from one of her castmates, Ming Lee. Okay, that is Ming Lee on the left of your screen, and you know Jackie Christie, aka Doug Christie's wife, on the right. Takari Lee, who is Jackie's other daughter, okay, she is kind of speaking out. I see that she's throwing a little bit of shade on social media and everybody is eating it up. And then the human that Jackie gave birth to and named Shantel Christie, she's pretty much doubling down. She posted up a statement to her stories on Instagram and she's doubling down on her actions, thoughts, and opinions. Okay. So let's get into this apology, if you want to call it that was issued by Ming Lee. She posted this to her stories and it reads, Jackie, I'm going to keep it real. After watching last night's episode and thinking back to how everything played out in real time, I owe you an apology. She should have just stopped there. But she goes on to say, if anything I said or did came off offensive, that was never my intention and I'm truly sorry. I was under the impression you swung first and that shaped how I saw it. Yeah, you and many others, okay? But watching it back, whew, it hit different. I don't condone violence at all, and it was hard to watch. As a mom, I understand where your emotions were coming from. Anybody in your shoes would have felt the same. This whole situation reminded me to stay out of family business and focus on my own damn business. I really do hope y'all can heal from this because that was tough to witness. Now, for those of you who had the pleasure of watching my previous video where I discussed titled Family Drama, okay, in the thumbnail, shout out to all the new subscribers. Welcome. I think I said, or maybe this was just my thought. I said Chantel allowed those women, those witches, to use her, to hype her up. And they are going to turn on her like bad jewelry. I didn't say that, but I totally can see them kind of turning on her and not supporting her getting physical with her mother, right? And shout out to Ming Lee, okay? That whole if I offended you, that's not really an apology. However, she did admit that she was under the impression that Jackie just swung on her daughter out of the blue. And see, this is why I said before that Chantel is operating under some evil spirit because you literally incited violence, got physical, and then you went back to the ladies and said, she swung on me. You literally lied by omission and tried to get the other ladies to show you sympathy and attention, and you straight lied in their face trying to further vilify your mother. That's evil. What else is? That is wicked and evil. Anywho, so Ming Lee was the first one to step out and apologize, quote unquote. And you know what? I respect it. Now, will Jackie Christie accept the apology? That's another thing. Now, she doesn't have to accept anybody's apology, but it will be interesting to see. Okay. And one of my royal family members, shout out to Shay, she commented under the video, the previous video regarding this topic, that to her understanding, the reason that there isn't going to be a reunion is because Jennifer and Jackie don't want to be a part of the reunion. Now, if that's true, I can understand why Jackie wouldn't want to be a part of the reunion because I'm pretty sure she's embarrassed. She's frustrated. She probably may be tempted to knock Chantel's head off of her shoulders. It would have been nice, though. It would have been nice, like I said in my previous commentary, to have all of these women on the same stage, with the exception of Clowntel. She should be in the back, like I said before, broadcasting via Zoom, okay? up on a teleprompter like they did my girl OG. Now, I don't even want to bring up OG because I'm still hot about that situation. All right, so let's get into Jackie Christie and Doug Christie's offspring. Okay, so she basically is speaking out, and just let's just read what she had to say. Let me pull this up on my phone because this font is kind of small, y'all, and I don't have my eyeballs in. Anyway, so her statement reads, I'll start by saying, if you've ever dealt with, it took me forever to read this. Reason being is because I just kept getting so irritated. And I'm going to try to really push through because I feel myself getting irritated again. I'll start by saying, if you've ever dealt with a toxic mother, then you truly have no idea what it feels like. As painful as it's been to watch these moments of my life play out on TV, I know my younger self is proud of the woman who finally stood up for herself. I don't see a woman. She goes on to write, the truth is, this dynamic isn't rare. It happens in more families than we like to admit. Oh, God. I really wish that word would be erased from the human psyche and the human vocabulary. Narcissism, jealousy, lies, lack of accountability, gaslighting, abuse, hiding, assault, etc. We're just taught to keep it in-house and suffer in silence. I chose to break that cycle. What you witnessed was a masterclass in narcissism, someone lighting the fire behind the scenes, then walking away so you look like the arsonist. Is she serious? I know what really happened on and off camera all season long. So no, the internet cannot bully me into submission. Y'all know the TV character. I know the mother. She touched my arm. Oh my God. I pushed her off me. She swung. Plain and simple. It's unfortunate things played out this way, and I wish it never happened. But if you knew our history, then you'd know this was a long time coming. So are you saying that you premeditated assaulting your mother? You see why sometimes people should just not speak, should just shut up? Oh, the next slide. I may not be proud of all my choices this season, but I'm also not ashamed. This is my real life, and I doubt anyone judging me lives a perfect one. I see the hate mail, I see the judgment, but I also see all the messages that say, quote, I've dealt with this too, end quote. Quote, this reminds me so much of my situation, end quote. Ciao. She goes on, to those of you with heart and understanding, I see you, and I appreciate your vulnerability. To those of you who've met me with threats, vile statements, and extreme judgment, may you never understand my plight. I'm going to tell you why this made me laugh. You know how to use plight correctly, but you don't understand what a rhetorical question is? Girl, she continues, celebrating my darkest moments says more about you than it ever will about me. I've always been misunderstood, and this chapter of my life is no different. But I will answer to God, not imperfect strangers who've never walked a step in my shoes. I will keep my head up and my peace in focus as I continue to grow as a mother, a wife, and a woman. You're immature. You lack emotional intelligence. You lack self-control. You're angry, and you don't even appear to know how to go about solving all of the issues and unresolved traumas that you have. Because Shantel, you think Clowntel, you know what, let me not call her out her name, Shantel. Because you think it's a good idea as an allegedly traumatized person to work beside your alleged abuser congregate with your alleged abuser's ops, lash out every chance you get, and expect a resolution. As I said yesterday, your healing is your responsibility. The person who committed whatever against you is never going to fix the trauma that they've inflicted on you, the alleged trauma. I'm going to keep it a buck. I don't believe nothing Shantel says. I'm not one of those people that just because someone says XYZ happened to them, that I automatically believe them. You lie. If you lie about little things, you'll 9 times out of 10 lie about anything. And you know what? I don't have to believe her. Let's just say, for the sake of the argument, she's telling the truth. The person who inflicted alleged abuse onto you is never going to be the person to heal you. And if you don't understand that at your big age, then there's nothing mature, emotionally mature about you. You should want to be as far away as possible from your mother. Far away. You should not even want to work beside her. So I just think that you get some sort of enjoyment out of watching your mother suffer, or causing your mother to suffer. You get enjoyment out of it. That's why you're so hyped. And you let witches gas you up and get in the middle of this situation. What you think, they gonna save you? They got more problems than a math book, honey. So when she says things like she's a woman and stuff, yeah, you're an adult female. But when are you going to own that you are hurt and properly seek help with your trauma instead of lashing out like a brat? You're an adult. Your mother could have pressed charges on you, bro. You have children. You're going to inflict this type of abuse on your children as well? What if your children do something that ticks you off? This is how you're going to lash out? I don't know, girl. Anyway, moving along, I wanted to take it back, way back in time. Okay, so this article is from August 16th, 2017. Okay, and Takari Lee, back in 2017, called into the Breakfast Club after Jackie Christie had an interview at the Breakfast Club. And this article kind of summarizes it. Why am I bringing this up? I don't know. Let's just read it. Okay, so basically, this is broken down into sections. Okay, this is a nice picture of Jackie Christie. Okay, so Jackie Christie's daughter, Takari Lee, called into the Breakfast Club to respond to her mother's interview. All right, the two have had a tumultuous relationship that has played out painfully in public. Here are 5 things that Takari revealed. We're not sure she's in the will for $8 million anymore. That's crazy. All right. So basically, on the topic of why she's writing this book, remember, Takari wrote a book about her experience growing up and being Jackie Christie's daughter. You guys remember, Evelyn got the transcripts. Evelyn made it her business to link up with Takari. So see, this goes way back. These witches being involved in other people's business. These same witches that don't want you to even say boo about anybody that they're related to or any of their situations. Anyway, so Takari's response on writing the book was, I'm not writing a book because I'm suffering from depression. I love my mom. I always will. I will always be respectful when she reaches out to me. It's my story. I have no reason to lie. There's nothing in that book that I haven't spoken to my mom about, especially not based on how I feel at some point in my life. On the topic of her relationship with her mom and what their issue is, she says, I haven't spoken to my mom in months. I haven't spent a birthday. I haven't spent a holiday. I haven't been around them. Really, me and my mom, it's not like one of those situations where one day we had a falling out and now we aren't cool. This is like, I don't know, I can only tell you the story, and you got to pick your own interpretation. This has been something from birth. We just didn't get that bond. That's what I think it is. I have my children. I have my bonds with my children. I think that bond was missed. I was with my grandmother from day one, almost to a certain age, before I even lived with my mom. She also goes on to say, I wouldn't call her a liar. I'm just going to simply say this. She wants to be confused about things. I'm not going to disrespect her and call her a liar. Okay. And again, this is Takari Lee back in 2017 when she called into the Breakfast Club in response to Jackie Christie's interview that was done on the Breakfast Club. In response to if she knew she was in the will for $8 million, she says, I never had that conversation with my mom. That wouldn't even be a thought of mine. I'd be in shock if I was in anything, especially at this point. Okay, when it comes to if she wants a relationship with her mom and her kids to have one with her too, she says that would be a dream. They're not allowed to watch her on TV. That's a bit much. She also cleared up that her friends created a GoFundMe, not her, and laughed when they spent the money on weed and sneakers. Okay. So I brought that up because and I understand that Takari and what's her name, Shantel, they're two different people. But it's quite interesting how Takari really had a intense story. It was really sad. And I'm going to keep it a bean with you. I don't care for Jackie Christie. Especially after hearing about Takari's experience. And she never really dug deep into that and gave an explanation. Jackie Christie, that is. And she doesn't owe the public an explanation. I think that there may be some secrets there. Takari has never gone on any public platform and disrespected her mother. She also said that she would never call her mother a liar because that's disrespectful. You know how old school black people will tell you, don't call someone a liar, say that they're telling a story or they're not telling the truth, yada, yada. I don't know. The word liar is a derogatory word in some households, right? So I just wanted to bring that up. And I also wanted to bring up this. So Takari did, do I have the, here it is. She posted in this on Instagram in response to someone. Okay. All I can say is I know Shantel speaks for me a lot, but she's not my advocate. So I came on here last night to clear that up for y'all. I don't hate anyone. And if someone feels alone in the world, my heart would feel obligated to be there. That's just who I am. I wish nothing but an abundance of peace and healing for them both. So it seems like Takari is taking the high road. And she also mentioned that, Shantel likes to speak for her a lot. And she doesn't understand why. And she said she doesn't even know, Shantel doesn't know Jackie Christie. She said Shantel doesn't even know our mom. I don't know what she means by that, but I am pretty sure that somebody somewhere right now is itching to get Takari on their couch, in their studio, on their platform via Zoom to have an in-depth interview with Takari. Will she do it? We shall see. To my knowledge, she hasn't really done interviews like that with anyone or sat down with anyone. I would be curious to see if she actually does it, and she might not. Everything that she had to say was pretty much in her book. So, all in all, in conclusion, this is still an absolutely positively unfortunate incident. Ming Lee extended an apology to Jackie Christie. To my knowledge, as of right now, while I'm still recording this video, I don't see a response from Jackie Christie. That could change tomorrow, later on, who knows. I'm pretty much over this story. The season finale for Basketball Wives is next week. Just so many thoughts, but I gave a full breakdown and my full throttled thoughts and opinions on the previous video that I will link at the end of this video. So drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about Takari speaking out. I saw something on Instagram where she posted a video with a caption, and it's kind of shady, basically kind of saying that's what she get, meaning her sister Shantel. It's too much. It's too much. I'm not trying to go down that rabbit hole. Either way, I'm gonna say again, what was displayed on Basketball Wives and what was shown and aired was evil. I think it could have been edited out completely, but for whatever reason, production and executive producers, Shawnee Henderson, and the others, um, they kept it in, and it's just a horrible look. I don't like to see mother versus daughter. That's terrible. That's a terrible, just a terrible headline. Jackie Christie versus her daughter. It's bad. It's absolutely bad. And I'm pretty sure both parties. No, Chantel doesn't seem like she's embarrassed. She said that she feels vindicated for the little girl in her. I guess resorting to violence is her way of dealing with things. I just really hope, Chantel, that when other people resort to violence when it comes to you, you're as understanding as and brave as you're coming across. Anyway, I feel myself getting ticked off just thinking about it. Here's what I want you to do, folks. I want you to drop down in the comments and share your thoughts. Okay, wait, hold up. Where's my end screen? I want to say a little thank you. Thank you for watching if you made it to the end. Be sure to check out the video that is linked at the end of this video. Okay, again, I give my full throttle opinion. I'll save it for you to watch the previous video. I can't get into it again. It's just too much. It's just too much. I do have a question. Do you think that this ultimately should be the absolute positive end to Basketball Wives? Do you think other people are going to come out and apologize to Jackie? I can't wait until the girls start doing interviews on podcasts. I said this in the previous video as well. And I want to see if they're going to apologize and basically say they only heard one side of the story. This is going to be interesting. This is going to play out for a while. Not a long while, but for a while. So we'll see who claps back. I'll be refreshing my feed to see what's up with any updates. And I'll come back on here and talk about it. But like I said, drop down in the comments, share your thoughts. I appreciate you for watching. I'll talk to you later.